Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive into the world of languages? Buckle up, because today we're talking about Spanish. And more specifically, we're tackling a grammar point that often trips up learners. Adjective placement.
It's one of those things that can really make a difference between sounding like, well, a learner and sounding much more natural. And when you're using something like pronunciator, you want to sound as natural as possible, right?
Absolutely. So let's jump right in. I know in English we're pretty much stuck with adjectives coming before nouns like blue sky, big house. You get the idea. Is it the same deal in Spanish?
Well, it's a little more nuanced than that, which I guess is what makes these deep dives interesting, right? You see, the basic rule in Spanish is actually that adjectives typically come after the noun, like Casablanca for White House.
Casablanca. Okay, got it. But I have a feeling there's more to it than just that. I mean, you mentioned nuances.
Right, you are. You see, while that's the general rule, Spanish throws in a few curveballs. Some adjectives actually go before the noun. And here's the really fascinating part. Where you put that adjective, it can totally change the meaning of what you're saying.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now you've got my attention. Can you give us an example?
Absolutely. Let's take the word viejo, which means old. Now, if you say an amigo viejo, literally an old friend, you're simply stating a fact about their age.
Makes sense.
But watch what happens when we move that viejo in front. Un viejo amigo suddenly becomes more like a dear old friend or a longtime friend. It emphasizes the depth of the relationship, the shared history. Totally different vibe, right?
It really is.
Right.
That's incredible. So it's not just about knowing the vocabulary, it's about understanding the subtle ways that word order can shape meaning.
Precisely. And that's where pronunciator really shines. It helps you pick up on these nuances so you can not only speak correctly, but also convey the right emotions and intentions. It's like the difference between knowing the ingredients and being able to cook a delicious meal.
That's a great analogy. So for all of you out there using Pronunciator to master Spanish, pay close attention to those adjectives. Where they land can make all the difference. You might be surprised at the subtle shades of meaning you can unlock. And with that, we've reached the end of another deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and keep those language learning muscles flexed.